Hey, what is going on, everyone? Coach Joey coming in. Kind of want to talk some nutrition today. So for those of you who are currently on the nutrition page, you guys will be able to see this. But one of the things is pretty interesting. When I traveled a little bit this weekend, I was out of town. I went to Puerto Rico for a CrossFit competition. And my original goal was to try to keep a food diary or log of kind of how I eat when I was out of town. And I didn't have real great cell phone service, and then between the competitions and kind of cramming food down my throat in between heats and all that stuff, it just kind of wasn't the highest priority. But I did want to come in today and kind of talk a little bit about it. So obviously you travel, out of state or wherever, and you're on vacation. It is always a little bit more difficult to eat, and I get that. And for those of you who are kind of like in a place with, you're comfortable with your body composition and you may be eating for other reasons, it's not as crazy to adhere and be 100% strict when you go out of town. But for those of you who are trying to get to a certain body composition goal, it definitely is in your best interest to try to stay as close as you can to your good eating habits, like if you were at home. But I want to talk about something pretty interesting today. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this in the past, but so usually body weight wise, I sit about anywhere from about 174 to 178 pounds pretty consistently these days. And I get back from Puerto Rico pretty late Sunday evening, Monday morning. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I literally wake up, hop on the scale, and I weigh 189 pounds. So I know for a lot of you, if you were to be gone for a weekend and then come back and hop on a scale and you're about 11 to 14 or 15 pounds heavier than you normally would, especially the ladies. I know you guys get wrapped up in the scale, so that's why I'm kind of making this video. It would kind of blow your mind. And people get wrapped up in that stuff and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that I put this much weight on. And then you may go through a little bit of frustration, and then some people will kind of lose the motivation to get back on track because they're like, man, I've done all this hard work and then I've put all this weight back on and it's crazy. Well, me being honest, in Puerto Rico, we did a CrossFit competition. But first thing, let's talk about this. Number one is I ate a bunch of food that I normally wouldn't eat. Fried food, bunch of carbohydrates, bunch of fatty foods. Just the food there was amazing. So it's really hard kind of not to get involved in that. When I say bad, I mean bad for Joey bad, like, chicken nachos and fried plantains and all kinds of stuff that I don't even look at when I'm over here. But if you're in Puerto Rico, I guess you do what they do over there. And it was the food was amazing. I knew coming back that I was going to be heavy on the scale. This is the reason why. If you eat an abundance of carbohydrates outside of your expenditure, your body begins to store that. It gets stored as glycogen in two different ways. It gets stored in your liver and it gets stored in your muscles. And this is readily available energy for you when you work out. That being said, I knew that I was going to have a weight influx when I got home. So every gram of carbohydrate that your body stores, let's say, you're going to store 3 grams of water because that's going to hold on to that water. So that's why carbohydrates are really essential for recovery, because if your muscles are storing glycogen, they're going to be able to absorb or hold more water, which is going to in turn kind of assist you as you're recovering from your strenuous workouts, which brings me to number 2. So we did a competition. It was a 2-day competition. We did 6 workouts over the course of 2 days. Some were really heavy. There was one that had a 2-mile run. There was 1 rep max lifts, legless rope climbs. So there was a pretty extreme demand on the body. Well, what happens is when you have breakdown of muscle tissue, your body creates inflammation. And inflammation, you're going to store fluid. So that fluid is helping your body flush out some of the damaged goods, per se, that are going on in your body. The point that I'm trying to make is, if something like this occurs to you and from one day to the next or 3 days to the next 3 days, the scale has these huge fluctuations, you're not putting on 10 or 15 pounds and you're never losing 10 or 15 pounds in a short period of time. I hopped on the scale today. It's Wednesday. So Monday I weighed 189 pounds. Today I hopped on the scale, or 189 pounds on Monday. Today I hopped on the scale. I was 179 pounds. That's not real weight. I didn't lose 10 pounds of fat. I didn't lose 10 pounds of muscle. I've simply adjusted my diet to kind of flush out any abundance of carbohydrates that I have. I probably still have a little bit extra, but my training has been feeling really good, so I'm not going to do another day of low carbohydrates. I'll just go back to my normal routine. But keep that in mind, especially for those of you, and guys and girls, if you're constantly fixated on the scale, you're always going to have these kind of fluctuations, and sometimes they're day to day, sometimes they're month to month, whatever the case is. But you realistically, the scale isn't the best approach unless you're looking at it quarterly, because even if you weigh yourself once a month, the one time you weighed yourself the first month, you may have some different circumstances that happen the next time you weigh yourself in the following month. The scale is a good tool, but you have to understand up here that it's not the end all be all when it comes to your body composition. All right, you guys, keep that in mind. Coach Joey out. If you guys have any nutrition questions, let us know. I know a lot of people have been approaching me and Vilma to kind of help them get on track, and I think everybody's doing a really good job. And anybody who's been working with us, obviously, if you have any questions, just let us know. Talk to you guys soon.